Hello friends, welcome to Prashant IAS. So friends, in the last class, we were discussing about a very important question, and our question was that how the universe was created. Okay, so I was explaining you about the origin of universe, that how the universe was created. So friends, till now I have told you that what happened in 1920. So what happened in 1920, that Edwin Hubble gave evidences that galaxies are going further apart from each other. Okay, so what Edwin Hubble did? Edwin Hubble gave evidences and he said that galaxies are going further apart from each other, means the distance between galaxies is increasing. Okay, so what happened in 1920? So in 1920 Edwin Hubble gave evidences and he said that the galaxies are moving away from each other, the distance between galaxies is increasing. Okay, and in yesterday's class I explained you that if the distance between galaxies is increasing, then it clearly proves the fact that our universe is expanding. Okay, so if the distance between galaxies is increasing, then it clearly proves the fact that our universe is expanding, means with time our universe is becoming more big. With time our universe is becoming bigger. Okay, so universe is expanding. Now friends, in yesterday's class I also told you that this, what is this? This is expanding universe hypothesis. Expanding universe hypothesis means universe is expanding. Okay, and friends, Big Bang. Okay, so Big Bang theory is that theory which actually explains about the formation of universe. Okay, so Big Bang theory is that theory which actually explains that how the universe was created, and this entire Big Bang theory is based on expanding universe hypothesis, and due to this reason Big Bang theory is sometimes also called as expanding universe hypothesis. So first of all, in this class, I will explain you that how this Big Bang theory is based on expanding universe hypothesis. And after that, I will explain you that how the universe was created. So friends, let's start. So friends, let's suppose that at a given point of time, okay, let's suppose that at a given point of time, this is the size of our universe. Okay, so let's suppose that at a given point of time, this is the size of our universe. Okay, now according to expanding universe hypothesis, as the time will pass, then universe will become bigger, means universe will expand. Okay, so let's suppose after some time what happens, that this is the size of universe. Okay, and when more time will pass, then what will happen, that universe will become further bigger. Okay, so what is happening, that as the time is passing, means as we are moving forward in time. Please listen to my words clearly. I am saying that what is happening, that as we are moving forward in time, as the time is increasing, as we are moving forward in time, so the universe is becoming bigger. Okay, the size of the universe is increasing. Okay, now friends, let's suppose this is the current time. Okay, so let's suppose this is the current time. Okay, so let's suppose this is the current time and currently this is the size of universe. So friends, here what we were doing, so we were going forward in time. So here if we go backward in time, okay, so here if we go backward in time, means what we are doing, we are tracing the history of our universe. Okay, so we are seeing the past of our universe. So if we go backward in time, then what we will see that if as we go backward in time, so the size of universe is becoming smaller. Okay, for example, here universe is smaller than the previous size, here universe is smaller than the this size. Okay, so what we can see, so if we will go backward in time, so here what we are doing, we are actually going backward in time, and as we will go backward in time, then we will see that as we will go backward in time, then universe is becoming smaller. Okay, now friends, let's suppose we have to go more backward in time, means we have to trace the history of universe beyond this point. So you can say that, sir, as we have seen that as we are moving backward in time, so the universe is becoming smaller. Okay, so what here we are doing, we are actually tracing the past. we are actually tracing the history of universe. So you will say that, sir, as we will go backward in time, as we will go in the past of universe, so universe was smaller in the past. Okay, now friends, let's suppose we have to go furthermore in the history of universe. So definitely you can say that, sir, beyond this time. Okay, so remember that this was the standard time which I took in this example. So beyond this time t, the universe was again further smaller. Okay, and then if you will go more in the history of universe, then you can say that, sir, then universe was again further smaller. Okay, so let's suppose friends, let's suppose friends, just think in your mind that what should be the size of universe when time was 0. Okay, so what should be the size of universe when time was 0. Okay, so what is happening? So according to our observation, as the time is increasing, so the size of our universe is increasing. Okay, as the time is increasing, so the size of universe is increasing. So what should be the size of universe when time was 0? Means at the beginning of time. So you can simply say that, sir, universe should be the smallest. The size of the universe should be smallest when time was 0. Okay, means the size of the universe should be infinitely unimaginably small. Unimaginably small means so small which we can't even imagine. Okay, so you can say that, sir, when time so you can say that when time was 0 means at the beginning of time the size of universe was smallest. Means universe was unimaginably small. Universe was so small that we cannot even imagine. Universe was even smaller than the size of an atom. Okay, so friends, I have told you that the Big Bang theory is actually based on the expanding universe hypothesis. So expanding universe hypothesis actually helps us in understanding that when time was 0, then at that point of time, means at the beginning of time, the size of universe was very, very small. At the beginning of time, the size of universe was even less than the size of an atom. The size of the universe was unimaginably small. Okay, so friends, this is how we actually derived the Big Bang theory out of expanding universe hypothesis. Okay, so it is just like a reverse engineering. So as we can see that universe is expanding, means as the time is passing, so the size of the universe is increasing. So we can say that if we will go in the past of the universe, if we will go backward in time, then we can say that the size of the universe was smaller. Okay, so we can say that when time was 0, means at the beginning of time, the size of the universe should be smallest. Means the size of the universe should be unimaginably small. Okay, so this is the base of Big Bang theory. So friends, now let us start our discussion with Big Bang theory. And now I will tell you that what actually Big Bang theory says. Now friends, what Big Bang theory says. So Big Bang theory says that at starting, okay, there was nothing. Okay, so here we are discussing about the origin and starting of the universe. Okay, so first of all, here we are discussing about the time before the beginning of the universe. Okay, so what Big Bang theory says? So Big Bang theory says that first of all there was nothing. Okay, so what Big Bang theory says? So first of all there was nothing. So what was there? So there was a singularity. Okay, what was there? There was a singularity. What is singularity? Okay, so as you can see in this diagram, this represents singularity. Now what is singularity? So singularity means an infinity decimally small point. Okay, what is singularity? So singularity means infinite decimally small point. Now what is the meaning of infinite decimally small point? So friends, as we all know that a decimal is very, very small. For example, this is a decimal. Okay, so please see this decimal which I have drawn in yellow color. Okay, so again I am drawing. Please put your attention. So this is a decimal. Okay, so as you can see on the screen that decimal is very, very small. And infinite decimally small point means it was even many times smaller than a decimal. Okay, it was even many times smaller than a universe. Okay, so we can say that the size of the singularity was even less than the size of a atom. Okay, so you know that atoms are very small. You all must have read in your chemistry that atoms are the building blocks of matters. Okay, so atoms are very small. We cannot even see atoms. Okay, and the size of the singularity was even less than the size of a atom. Okay, so this is the meaning of the statement infinite decimally small point. So what was this singularity? So singularity was infinite decimally small point. Infinite decimally small point means unimaginably small, means it was as small which we cannot even imagine. It was even smaller than the size of an atom. Okay, so when there was nothing, there was singularity. Now friends, entire energy, okay, entire energy of the universe which we see today, okay, entire energy of the universe, okay, entire energy was actually included in this singularity. So this singularity actually comprised of all the energy. Okay, so today we know that there is a lot of energy in the universe. Okay, so we know that there is a lot of energy in the universe. For example, stars emit energy. Okay, so there are many forms of energy. So what happened that at the beginning the entire energy was contained in this singularity. This singularity comprised all the energy. Okay, so where entire energy was present, so the entire energy was present in this singularity. After that friends, the entire time space was also comprised in that singularity. Okay, means this singularity also comprised of time as well as space. Okay, so what I am telling you, so I am just telling you that at the beginning of universe there was nothing. At the beginning of universe there was a infinite decimally small point which is known as singularity. The entire energy was contained in that singularity as well as all the time and space was also contained in that singularity. Okay, so again I am repeating that at the beginning of universe there was nothing. There was a singularity. There was only a singularity. Singularity means an unimaginably small point. Singularity means infinite decimally small point. Okay, and entire energy was actually contained in that singularity as well as entire time space was also contained in that singularity. Okay, so in other words we can also say that this singularity actually comprised of all the energy and all the time and space. Okay, so at this point of time all the energy and all the time space was actually contained in that singularity. Now friends, in yesterday's class I told you about matter. Okay, in yesterday's class I told you about matter, that I have told you that there are basically four things in the universe: energy, time, space and matter. Okay, so friends, when there was nothing, means when there was singularity, so at that point of time entire energy was contained in that singularity. Similarly, entire time and space was also contained in that singularity. Now where was matter? Okay, so now my question is that where was matter? So friends, at that point of time there was no matter. Okay, there was no matter. Okay, so there was only energy. There was pure energy. Okay, so there was pure energy, means there was only energy. So there was no matter. Okay, so at that point of time there was no matter. There was only and only energy. Okay, so what is singularity? So singularity is a infinite decimally small point and it comprised all the energy, all the time space and there was no matter known. Now friends, I want to ask one question from all of you, and my question is that what should be the temperature? What should be the temperature of this singularity? So definitely I think that many of the students will give this answer that sir, as all the energy was contained in this, singularity. This singularity was a very small point. This singularity was even less than the size of an atom. The size of the singularity was even less than the size of the atom, and in such a small size entire energy of the universe was contained. So definitely sir, as the energy will increase, so temperature will increase. Okay, so definitely what should be the temperature of this singularity? So the temperature of this singularity was infinite. Okay, so what was the temperature of this singularity? The temperature of this singularity was infinite. Okay, means it was as hot as we cannot even imagine. It was as hot as we cannot even imagine. So what was the temperature of the singularity? So the temperature of the singularity was infinite. And why it was infinite? So it was infinite because the entire energy, entire time space was actually contained in that singularity, and it was very very small. Now friends, my next question to you is that what should be the pressure? Okay, what should be the pressure of this singularity? Okay, so please pause the video and think for 2 minutes. Okay, then I will give you answer. So friends, now the student should think like that, sir, as this point is very very small. Okay, this point is very very small, and entire energy, entire time, entire space is contained in a very small point. Okay, so definitely pressure will increase. Okay, so what will happen? Pressure will increase. For example, we know that as we decrease the area, so pressure increases. For example, friends, let's suppose that let me rub this first. So let's suppose, friends, this is a bigger area. Okay, and on this bigger area, a 5 kg weight. Okay, so you have put a 5 kg weight on this bigger area. Now what will happen? The pressure on this area is, okay, so what should be the pressure on this area? Okay, now I am giving you a second condition that you have put 5 kg weight. Okay, so in first condition what you did? In first condition you put 5 kg weight on a bigger area. Now what you are doing in second condition? In second condition you are putting 5 kg weight on a very small area. Okay, so as you can compare that this is a big area and this is a small area and the weight is same. So what will happen? Definitely pressure will increase in this case. Pressure will increase in this case. So there is a simple law of physics. So as the area will increase, as the area will decrease, so the pressure will increase. As the area will decrease, so the pressure will increase. Okay, and now if we talk of singularity, then friends, we know that singularity was a infinite decimally small point. Means the volume of the singularity actually tends to 0. Its volume was very very less. Okay, I am not saying that its volume was 0. I am saying that its volume tends to 0. Means it was very near to 0. Okay, it can't be 0. It was not 0, but it tends to 0. Tends to 0 means it was very near to 0. Okay, so the volume of singularity was very very less. The size of singularity was very very less. And if you will put entire energy, entire time, entire space in a very small point, then what will happen? Then pressure will definitely increase. So what was the pressure of singularity? The pressure of singularity was also infinite. Okay, so if we talk of characteristics of singularity, so the temperature of singularity was infinite, as well as the pressure of singularity was also infinite. So friends, then our question is that what happened next? Okay, so I told you about singularity stage. Okay, so now our question is that what happened after singularity. Okay, so what happened next? So friends, in order to understand that what happened after singularity, just imagine a condition that there is a small room. Okay, so what is this? This is a small room. And friends, what happened that let's suppose that you have packed thousands of people. Okay, you have packed thousands and lakhs of people in this small room. Okay, so this is a very small room, and what you have done, you have packed, okay, or let's suppose that this is a very small room, and what is the condition? That there are thousands of people packed in this room. Okay, now definitely as the thousands of people are packed in a small room, so what will happen? Definitely the pressure will increase. Okay, so I have told you that pressure will increase. Okay, and what these people will do? So these people will definitely try to break the boundary of this room. Okay, what these people try? These people will try to break the boundary of this room, break the walls of this room, and they will try to go out of this room. Okay, so definitely if you will pack thousands of people, lakhs of people in a small room, then they all will try to escape out of the room. They all will try to destroy the wall of that room and to escape out of that room. And the same thing happened after singularity, and this is known as Big Bang. Okay, so what happened after singularity? So after singularity happened Big Bang. Now what is Big Bang? So Big Bang means a explosion. So what happened, friends? A sudden explosion happened. Okay, so what happened? A sudden explosion happened. So a sudden explosion took place and the singularity exploded. Okay, so what happened? That a sudden explosion happened and the singularity was exploded. Okay, and this event is known as Big Bang. Okay, so bang itself means explosion. Bang itself indicates explosion. Okay, so what is the meaning of Big Bang? Big Bang means when the singularity was exploded, when the singularity was burst. Okay, so Big Bang means when the singularity was exploded. So Big Bang actually means a sudden explosion, as you can see in this animation. Okay, and friends, from the Big Bang started the formation of our universe. So first of all, my first question is how much time before present this Big Bang took place? So the answer to this question is 13.7 billion years ago before present. Okay, so the answer to this question is 13.7 billion years before present this Big Bang actually took place. Means our universe was formed 13.7 billion years ago. Okay, our universe was formed 13.7 billion years ago. Okay, so let me repeat it. So what happened, friends? So what happened that this singularity actually exploded and a sudden explosion took place, and this sudden explosion is known as Big Bang. Okay, so what happened? That singularity exploded and a sudden explosion took place, and this explosion is known as Big Bang. And this Big Bang actually happened 13.7 billion years ago before present. 13.7 billion years ago. Okay, and with Big Bang the formation of our universe was started. With Big Bang the creation of our universe was started. So friends, now our next question is, what happened after Big Bang? Okay, so what happened next? So till now we have seen that initially there was a singularity. Okay, then what happened? That 13.7 billion years ago, 13.7 billion year before present, what happened? That singularity exploded, and the explosion of the singularity is known as Big Bang. And with Big Bang, what happened? That the formation of our universe started. Okay, but the next question is that what happened after Big Bang? The next question is that what happened next? So let's see. So friends, with this the universe started forming. Okay, so with Big Bang universe started forming. So friends, first of all the time has started. Okay, so time has started. After that, friends, space started forming. Okay, space started forming, and we already know that entire energy was already contained in that singularity. Okay, so now what happened after Big Bang? So after Big Bang universe started forming, or we can say that universe started expanding. Okay, so actually I have told you that Big Bang theory is based on expanding universe hypothesis. Okay, so we can also say that universe started expanding. Okay, so what started? Universe started expanding, and when universe started expanding, so what happened? That Big Bang time has started. Okay, so with Big Bang time has started. Now space started forming. Okay, and definitely there was energy. So friends, now let's see step by step that what actually happened after Big Bang. Okay, so what happened after Big Bang? So friends, the immediate time after Big Bang is actually known as radiation era. Okay, so the evolution of universe after the Big Bang is actually grouped into two eras. So the first era is known as radiation era, and the second era is known as matter era. Okay, so after Big Bang, what happened? The radiation era started. So I am trying to explain you that after Big Bang, the evolution of the universe is actually grouped into two eras. The first era is radiation era, okay, and the second era is matter era. Now, what is the meaning of radiation era? So, radiation era means when there was the dominance of radiation in the universe. Means when radiation dominated the universe. Means when there was no or very less matter in the universe. Okay, and after radiation era, matter era will come. Matter era means the domination of matter in the universe. Means in this era, matter actually started forming, and there was a lot of matter in this era. Okay, so first of all, I will begin the discussion with radiation era. Okay, so friends, let us quickly summarize what we have learned so far. So first of all, I have told you that in the beginning there was nothing. There was a singularity. Singularity means it was infinite decimally small point. Okay, and entire energy, time, space was contained in that singularity. And then the temperature of that singularity was infinite. Moreover, the pressure of that singularity was also infinite. Now friends, due to infinite temperature and pressure, what happened? That this singularity exploded, okay? And this explosion is known as Big Bang. So what is Big Bang? Big Bang means when the singularity was exploded. So the explosion of the singularity is known as Big Bang. And with Big Bang, what happened? That the formation of our universe started. With Big Bang, what happened? Time has started. Okay, so first of all, time has started from Big Bang. After that, space started forming from Big Bang. And we already know that energy was already there. Okay, so energy was already there. So what happened after Big Bang? Time has started, space started forming, and energy was already there. Now friends, just after Big Bang, okay, so after Big Bang, the evolution of the universe is classified into two eras. The first era is known as radiation era, and the second era is known as matter era. Radiation era means when there was no or very less matter existing. Means there was the domination of radiation. There was the domination of energy in the universe. Okay, but what happened in matter era? So in matter era, matter started forming. So matter dominated the universe. So first of all, I will teach you radiation era. Okay, and after that, we will discuss about matter era. So friends, let us begin our discussion with radiation era. So this is the story after Big Bang. Means what happened after Big Bang. So first of all, we will start our discussion with radiation era. So friends, the radiation era is actually divided into many epochs. Okay, so the radiation era is divided into various epochs. Now, what is the meaning of epoch? So, epoch basically means a time period. Okay, so what is epoch? So, epoch basically means a time period. So, there are many epochs in which the radiation era is divided. So, which is the first epoch of radiation era? Okay, so which is the first epoch of radiation era? So friends, the first epoch of radiation era is Planck epoch. Okay, so which epoch is the first epoch? The first epoch of radiation era is the Planck epoch. Now friends, what happened in this Planck epoch? So first of all, I will tell you the time of this Planck epoch. So Planck epoch means time equal to 0. Means the time means Planck epoch started just after Big Bang. Okay, so time equal to 0 means when time was just started, when universe was just born. Okay, means just after Big Bang. So actually Planck epoch is the first epoch of radiation era, and radiation era is the first era of the evolution of universe. So basically Planck epoch starts when time was 0, means when time was just started, means when universe was born. Now friend, what was the temperature in Planck epoch? Okay, so what was the temperature in Planck epoch? So as we know that as we know that Planck epoch starts just after the birth of universe, so temperature was really very high. Universe was really very hot and sizzling at that point of time. Okay, so temperature was approximately 10 to the power 40 Kelvin. Okay, so what was the time? Time was the just after the birth of universe, and temperature was 10 to the power 40 Kelvin. 10 to the power 40 Kelvin is a very high temperature. It is a very high temperature, friends. Okay, so this was the time and temperature of Planck epoch. Now friends, what are the characteristic features of Planck epoch? So the first characteristic feature of Planck epoch is that there was no matter existing. Okay, so in Planck epoch there was no matter. Okay, after that there was pure energy in Planck epoch. Pure energy means there was only energy in Planck epoch. There was no matter, there was only and only energy present in the universe in the Planck epoch. Now friends, in the Planck epoch, means just after the birth of universe, there was a super force. Super force. Now what is super force? Super force is actually the ancestor of four fundamental forces of nature. Okay, so friends, I hope that you all must have studied in your physics class or in your science class that basically there are four fundamental forces of nature. Okay, so there are four fundamental forces in nature, and basically majority of the phenomena are governed by these fundamental forces. So the first fundamental force is gravitational force. The second fundamental force is strong nuclear force. The third fundamental force is weak nuclear force, and the fourth fundamental force is electromagnetic force. Okay, so basically there are four fundamental forces in nature. Okay, and these four fundamental forces of universe are gravitation or gravity, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, and electromagnetic force. So friends, in Planck epoch, these forces were not separated. Okay, in Planck epoch, these forces were not separated. These forces were together one. These forces were united, and together these forces are called as a super force. Okay, so what happened in Planck epoch? So in Planck epoch there was a super force, and this super force was actually the ancestor of all the four fundamental forces of nature. Means actually this super force gave birth to all the four fundamental forces of nature. But friends, a key event occurred at the end of Planck epoch. And what was that key event? So that key event was that gravity actually separated from the super force. Okay, so what happened? That gravity separated from super force. So now gravity was a separate force, and now these three forces, means strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, and electromagnetic force, these three forces were the part of super force. So this was all about Planck epoch. Now friends, let's move further to the next epoch. So friends, then comes Grand Unification epoch. Okay, so after Planck epoch, Grand Unification epoch comes. Now friends, what is the beginning time of Grand Unification epoch? Okay, so that beginning time of the Grand Unification epoch is 10 to the power minus 43 seconds after Big Bang. Okay, so what is the beginning time? What is the starting time of Grand Unification epoch? So the starting time of Grand Unification epoch is 10 to the power minus 43 seconds after Big Bang. Now friends, what is the temperature of the universe in Grand Unification epoch? So the temperature of universe in the Grand Unification epoch was 10 to the power 36 Kelvin. Now this is also a very high temperature. Now friends, what were the key events which happened or which took place in Grand Unification epoch? So what happened in Grand Unification epoch, that I have told you. Now why, first of all I want to tell you why the name of this epoch is named as Grand Unification epoch. So I have told you that in the end of Planck epoch, what happened, that gravity spilled from super force. Okay, but now also there was super force. Okay, and what was the constituents of this super force? So actually three forces were also actually three now also three forces were the part, three fundamental forces of universe were the part of this super force. Okay, and these forces were strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, and electromagnetic force. Okay, and as these three fundamental forces of the nature, these three fundamental forces of the universe were unified in that epoch. That's why the name of this epoch was given as Grand Unification Epoch. Grand Unification means the three fundamental forces of the nature are unified. So if three fundamental forces of the nature were unified, so this epoch was named as Grand Unification Epoch. Grand Unification means the unification of three fundamental forces of nature. Okay, now friends, what was the key event which happened in this epoch? In the end of this epoch, what happened, that strong nuclear force, okay, strong nuclear force actually spilled off from the super force. Okay, so what happened, that strong nuclear force spilled off from the super force. So now super force only had weak nuclear force plus electromagnetic force. Okay, so what was the condition? So what happened in Grand Unification Epoch? So in Grand Unification Epoch, so at the end of Grand Unification Epoch, strong nuclear force actually spilled off from the super force, and now super force only had weak nuclear force and electromagnetic force. So now friends, let's move further to next epoch. So friends, then comes inflationary epoch. Friends, one thing which I want to make you clear is the pronunciation. If this word is not epoch, its pronunciation is epoch. Okay, so the pronunciation of this word is not epoch, its pronunciation is epoch. In the beginning, I mistakenly said it epoch, so really I need sorry for this. Okay, so the correct pronunciation of this word is epoch. Okay, so what happened? Then the third epoch is inflationary epoch. Now friends, what was the temperature of the universe and what was the beginning time of inflationary epoch? So the starting time of inflationary epoch was 10 to the power minus 36 seconds after Big Bang. Okay, so are you noticing that these epochs are actually very very small? Okay, so they are even measured in these are even measured in the fractions of a second. Okay, so here we are talking in a fraction of a second. Now are you getting me that what is the meaning of 10 to the power minus 36 second? So the meaning of 10 to the power minus 36 second means when you divide 1 second by 10 to the power 36. Okay, so what is the meaning of 10 to the power minus 36 second? So the meaning of 10 to the power minus 36 second is that if you divide 1 second, okay, if you divide 1 second by 10 to the power 36. Okay, so here we are talking in the fractions of a second. Here we are talking within the fractions of a second. So if you will divide 1 second by 10 to the power 36, okay, then you will obtain this time. Okay, so what was the starting time of inflationary epoch? So the starting time of inflationary epoch is 10 to the power minus 36 seconds after Big Bang. Now friends, what was the temperature of the universe in inflationary epoch? Okay, so the temperature of the universe in inflationary epoch was 10 to the power 33 Kelvin. Okay, so what was the temperature? So temperature was 10 to the power 33 Kelvin. Okay, so this is also a very high temperature. Okay, so 10 to the power 33 Kelvin means this way you have to write zeros 33 times. Okay, so this is a very huge number. So what was the temperature of universe at this point of time? So at that point of time, the temperature of the universe was 10 to the power 33 Kelvin. Now friends, what were the key events which took place in inflationary epoch? So what happened in inflationary epoch and why it is known as inflationary epoch? So what is the meaning of inflationary? Inflationary means rapid expansion. Okay, what is the meaning of inflationary? Inflationary means rapid expansion. So the key event which happened in inflationary epoch was that actually universe expanded, what happened, that universe expanded rapidly in this epoch. Okay, so what happened, that universe rapidly expanded. For example, friends, if the initial size, okay, so we have started a discussion with singularity. Okay, so what was the size of singularity? So the size of singularity was even smaller than an atom. Okay, but in inflationary epoch, what happened, that the size of universe actually became near to the size of a fruit. Okay, near to the size of a big fruit. Okay, so atom is actually very very small, so the size of the singularity was even smaller than the size of an atom. Okay, but what happened in inflationary epoch, that the universe rapidly expanded, means universe expanded suddenly, and what happened, that the size of the universe increased to the size of a big fruit. Okay, means fruits which we eat in our daily life. Okay, so it increased as compared to the size of a big fruit. So this was the first key event which happened in the inflationary epoch. Now friends, as you can see that the temperature of the universe was 10 to the power 33 Kelvin, and 10 to the power 33 Kelvin is a very very high temperature. So at this point of time, universe was actually piping hot. Piping hot means universe was extremely hot. Universe was very very hot. Okay, so universe was extremely hot in inflationary epoch. Now friends, in inflationary epoch, universe was actually filled with the particles like electrons. Okay, universe was filled with the particles like electrons, quarks, okay, anti-quarks. Okay, so what happened in inflationary epoch, that in inflationary epoch universe was actually filled with many particles like electrons, quarks, anti-quarks. Now friends, my question is that what is electron, what is quark, what is anti-quark? Okay, so the very basic answer to this question can be that definitely sir, electron is also a matter. Okay, quarks is also matter, anti-quarks are also matter. Okay, so what I want to explain you is that at this point of time actually matter started forming. Okay, now how now you will ask that sir, when there was singularity, at that point of time there was no matter, then how matter will form? So friends, there is a very famous equation of Einstein, and that equation is E equal to mc square. Okay, where E stands for energy, M stands for mass, C stands for velocity of light. Now what does it mean? It means that okay, so in simple words we can say that this equation signifies that mass can be converted into energy and energy can be converted into mass. Okay, so what this equation signifies? This equation signifies that energy can be converted into mass and mass can be converted into energy. So I told you that when there was singularity, so that singularity had all the energy of the universe. Okay, so what happened, that after Big Bang, when universe started forming, so this energy actually started converting into matter. So what happened, that this energy started converting into matter. Okay, so what happened in inflationary epoch, that in inflationary epoch universe was actually churned with electrons, quarks, anti-quarks and other particles like them. Okay, and with this our inflationary epoch ends. Now friends, let's move further to next epoch. So friends, then comes electroweak epoch. So what was the time? Okay, so what was the starting time of electroweak epoch? So the starting time of electroweak epoch was 10 to the power minus 32 seconds after Big Bang. And what was the temperature of electroweak epoch? So the temperature of electroweak epoch was 10 to the power 20 Kelvin. Okay, so this was the temperature of electroweak epoch. Now friends, what key event happened in the electroweak epoch? Okay, so here we are very much concerned with the key events, because why? Because here I am actually teaching you the formation of the universe, means how the universe and all its components were formed. So what happened in this epoch? So I have told you that there was a super force. Okay, so there was a super force and there were four constituents of that super force. Okay, so this super force actually included four forces. Now out of these four forces, what happened, that two forces already split off. Okay, and now this super force only had weak nuclear force. okay, and electromagnetic force. Okay, so so what happened, that super force only had weak nuclear force and electromagnetic force. So what key event happened in electroweak epoch, that these two forces also split off, okay, and super force ended. Okay, so what happened, that weak nuclear force and electromagnetic force became the independent forces and they split off from each other. So this was the key event which happened in electroweak epoch. And in this way, friends, what happened, that the four fundamental forces of the nature were born. The four fundamental forces of the nature took their birth. And with this, the electroweak epoch also ends. Now let's move further to next epoch. So friends, then came quark epoch. So what was the temperature of the universe in quark epoch? So the temperature of universe was 10 to the power 16 Kelvin. And what was the time? What was the starting time of quark epoch? So the starting time was 10 to the power minus 12 seconds after Big Bang. Now friends, what is the characteristic feature of quark epoch? So the characteristic feature of quark epoch is that all the ingredients of the universe were present in the quark epoch. Means all the ingredients which eventually formed the universe, these all ingredients were formed in the, means these all elements, these all don't want to say element, these all ingredients were actually present in the universe in quark epoch. Now what does it mean? So let me make you very clear. So what I am saying, friends, listen to me carefully. What I am saying, that in quark epoch what happened, that all the ingredients which are necessary for the formation of the universe, all the ingredients which formed the universe, these ingredients were present. For example, or the four fundamental forces of nature, okay, all the four fundamental forces of the universe, they were present in quark epoch. Why? Because in earlier epochs all the four fundamental forces split off from the super force. Similarly, friends, I have explained you that quarks were formed, anti-quarks were formed, electrons were already formed, okay, and all other particles which are necessary for the formation of the universe, these particles were also formed. So what happened till quark epoch, that all the ingredients which are necessary for the formation of the universe, these all ingredients were present. But there was a problem. What was the problem? The problem was that the temperature was very high. Okay, so you can see the temperature. The temperature was 10 to the power 16 Kelvin. It is a very high temperature. So in such a high temperature, it was not possible that the subatomic particles can form. Subatomic particles means particles like protons, particles like neutrons. Okay, so protons, neutrons, these type of particles are known as subatomic particles. So what happened, the temperature was very high, so due to the high temperature subatomic particles didn't form. Okay, so with this quark epoch also ends. So now let's move further to the next epoch. So friends, then came Hadron epoch. Now what happened in Hadron epoch? So what was the starting time? Starting time was 10 to the power minus 6 seconds after Big Bang. And what was the temperature? Temperature was 10 to the power 10 Kelvin. Now friends, what happened in Hadron epoch? So friends, what happened, that you can see that now temperature is comparatively less than the earlier stages. Okay, so temperature is 10 to the power 10 Kelvin. Definitely this temperature is also high, but if we compare to the earlier stages when temperature was very very high, so as compared to these stages temperature was comparatively low. So what happened, that now the universe was cooled enough. Okay, so now universe was cooled. Okay, so as compared to earlier stages, what happened, that now universe was more cool. And definitely with time universe was expanding more and more. Okay, so what was happening, that universe was becoming bigger and bigger. Okay, so what happened in Hadron epoch, that the temperature fall to 10 to the power 10 Kelvin. Okay, so means universe was now comparatively cooler than the earlier stages, and moreover universe was also expanding at a very high speed. Universe was expanding at a very very high speed. Okay, so the size of universe was becoming bigger and bigger. Okay, so within within fractions of a second, universe was becoming bigger. Universe was rapidly expanding within the fractions of a second. Okay, so what happened in Hadron epoch? So in Hadron epoch, the temperature was dropped to 10 to the power 10 Kelvin. And what we can draw conclusion from this? So we can draw conclusion that now universe was cool as compared to the earlier stages. Okay. So friends, as universe was cooled enough, so what happened that quarks, okay, so what happened that quarks joined, and these quarks makes protons and neutrons. Okay, so what happened that as universe cooled down, okay, means now the temperature of the universe was reduced considerably. Okay, and if we compare to the previous stages, so in this stage the temperature of the universe was less as compared to the previous stages. So we can say that now the universe was cool. Okay, so what happened that these quarks joined with each other. Okay, and by joining with each other, these quarks formed protons and neutrons. And what are proton and neutrons? So proton and neutrons are the subatomic particles. Okay, proton and neutrons are the ingredients for the making of atoms. Okay, and what is atom? Atom is the building block of matter. Okay, so everything which we see today, everything is made up of atoms, and these atoms are made up of proton and neutrons, and these proton and neutrons are made up of quarks. Okay, so what happened in Hadron epoch? In Hadron epoch, temperature dropped, universe cooled, and as universe cooled, so what happened that quarks joined with each other, and these quarks formed protons and neutrons. Okay, and what are these proton and neutrons? So they are the subatomic particles, means these are the ingredients for the formation of atom. And with this, Hadron epoch also ends. So friends, then came the last two epochs of radiation era. So these are the last two epochs of radiation era, and they are lepton epoch and nuclear epoch. Okay, now lepton epoch begins. The starting time of lepton epoch is 1 second after Big Bang. Okay, so the starting time of lepton epoch is 1 second after Big Bang. And what is the starting time of nuclear epoch? So the starting time of nuclear epoch is 100 seconds after Big Bang. Now what is the key event happened in these two epochs? Okay, and what was that key event? Okay, which resulted into the end of radiation era. Okay, so these were the last two epochs of radiation era. So what was the key event of radiation era? So the key event was that now I told you that the universe was expanding more rapidly. Okay, so as the time was increasing, universe was expanding more rapidly, and moreover temperature was also dropping. Okay, so now as temperature dropped, so what happened means the universe was becoming cooler. Okay, so what happened, friends, that protons and neutrons, okay, so protons and neutrons now joined together to form the nuclei. Okay, so what happened that protons and neutrons joined together to form the nuclei. So what happened? Protons and neutrons joined together to form nuclei. Now friends, so what happened that the universe got its first elements, and these elements were hydrogen and helium. Okay, so what happened that universe got its first element, hydrogen and helium. But there was a problem. Now what was that problem? The problem was that these were not the these atoms of hydrogen and these atoms of helium were not the neutral atoms. Okay, so these atoms of hydrogen and these atoms of helium, these were not the these atoms were not the neutral atoms. Okay, now why these atoms were not neutral atoms? Okay, so I explained you that what happened that protons and neutrons joined together and they formed nucleus. Okay, so what happened that proton plus neutron, both of them formed nucleus. Okay, so now nucleus was formed, and if nucleus was formed means element is formed. Okay, nucleus is formed means element is formed. But friends, the problem is that now also there was a lot of temperature in the universe. Now also the temperature of the universe was very high. Okay, so as the temperature of the universe was very high, so the electrons had a lot of energy. Electrons were highly charged. Okay, so electrons had a lot of energy. Electrons were highly charged. So it was not possible that these electrons can join with the nuclei to form the neutral atoms. Okay, what happened? Okay, so are you getting my point? I just want to explain you that what happened in these last two epochs, that temperature dropped and universe cooled. Okay, so as temperature dropped, so what happened, that the protons and neutrons, both of them joined and they formed the nucleus. Now what is nucleus? So nucleus means element. Okay, so what happened actually, that universe got its first two elements, hydrogen and helium. Okay, so universe got its first two elements, hydrogen element and helium element. But there was a problem with these elements. What was the problem? The problem was that these were not the neutral atoms. Okay, so hydrogen is an element, helium is an element. Okay, and there were many atoms of hydrogen, there were many atoms of helium, but the problem was that this hydrogen was charged. Similarly, helium was also charged. Okay, so hydrogen was charged as well as helium was charged. Why they were charged? They were charged because at that point of time also the temperature of the universe was very high. So as the temperature of universe was very high, so the amount of energy in the universe was also high. So as the amount of energy in the universe was high, so these electrons, okay, so we know that how an atom is formed. Okay, so at the center we have proton and neutron. Okay, and proton and neutron forms the nucleus. Okay, so what happens at the center of the atom, that there is proton and the proton and neutron forms the nucleus of the atom. Okay, and around this proton and neutron, electron revolves. Okay, electron revolves around this proton and neutron. Okay, but friends, the problem was that electron were highly charged at that point of time, because there was lot of energy, there was lot of free energy in the universe. So what happened, that electrons were highly charged. Okay, so these electrons were not agree to bind with these nuclei. These electrons were not ready to bind with these nuclei. Okay, so these electrons were traveling in the universe. But they were so highly charged that they were not able to join with the nuclei, and due to which what happened, even though we got the elements hydrogen and helium, but then also no neutral atoms were formed. What happened, that no neutral atoms were formed. Why? Because for the formation of neutral atoms, it was necessary that these electrons get stable and this electron joins with the nucleus. But due to high energy, the electrons were highly unstable. The electrons were moving. Electrons were highly charged. Okay, and they were not ready to join with the nucleus. And as electrons were not ready to join with the nucleus, so what happened, that even though hydrogen was formed, but helium was formed, but these were charged. Okay, so they were not the neutral atoms. So this happened in the radiation era, and with this the radiation era ends. Now friends, I want to tell you one more thing. Now during this time what happened, that the universe was opaque. Okay, universe was opaque. Now opaque means that universe was not transparent. Okay, so what is the meaning of opaque? Opaque means universe was not transparent. Okay, so for example, let me illustrate you what is the meaning of opaque. For example, let's suppose if this is a room. Okay, if this is a room, and these are the walls of the room. Okay, so this is the wall of a room and this is also a wall of the room. Okay, and let's suppose a person is standing here. Now friends, this wall is made up of bricks. Okay, so this wall is made up of bricks and stones. This wall is made up of bricks and stone. So tell me, will this person be able to see outside the wall? Okay, let's suppose that there is no window and no door. Then tell me that will this person be able to see what is happening outside the door? No. Why? Because this wall is opaque. So opaque means if we can't see across that object. Okay, so opaque means that that the universe was not transparent. Okay, so if the universe was opaque, so it means that it was not possible to see in that universe. Okay, so opaque means when you are not able to see anything. Opaque means when you are not able to see. So universe was opaque means there was no light in the universe. Okay, so what is the meaning of opaque? So opaque means there was no light in the universe. No light shines in the universe. Now I want to ask you one very simple question, that why universe was opaque? Okay, why light was not allowed to shine in the universe? Why universe was not transparent? Okay, so what is my question? So friends, kindly listen to this question carefully. This is your assignment. Okay, so your assignment is that why, okay, so you have to find out that why the universe was opaque, why the universe was not transparent at that point of time, why there was no light at that point of time, okay, why light was not allowed to shine at that point of time, okay, or in simple words, why universe was opaque at that point of time. So you have to find out that why the universe was opaque. Now friends, you have to post your answer in the comment section of the video, and the students who have taken the membership, okay, the students who have paid and joined me on Telegram, so these students should give me answer on Telegram only. Okay, so the students who have taken the membership and joined me on Telegram, so I request to these students to give me answer, to submit the answer on Telegram only, and the students who have not taken the membership, please give your answer in the comment section of the video. Okay, and in the next video I will announce the name of all those students who will give the correct answer. So friends, that's all for today. Now we will continue our story in the next class. So friends, if you like the lecture, then like the video, comment, subscribe the channel, press the bell icon and select all, and share this channel to all the people you know who are preparing for UPSC or any other state PSC. Friends, if you want to join me on Telegram and want to watch very special lecture which I post on every Sunday, then make a small payment from the first link given in the description of the video. And friends, you will also be able to clear your doubts on Telegram with me. So friends, now we will meet in next class. Till then, take care of yourself. Thank you.